You boys be quiet down there!
Hi, this is Mr. Jakes from Basement Brothers. I just received my copy of Ys 9 a few days ago, and I wanted to make a video to give my initial impressions of the game so far. Maybe I can give you some idea of what the experience of playing the game is like. To start off, I want to read you a quote from Falcom President Toshihiro Kondo in an interview he did with usgamer.net this July. He says, "So as soon as we finished Ys 8, we began talks about what we should do for Ys 9. And one of the things that we talked about was that up until now, the action in Ys has been very flat. So now this is Ys 9. I think you get the idea. Ys 9 is the first game in the series to fully utilize the third dimension, with fully explorable cityscapes and multi-level dungeons. Of course, it's nothing new for video games in general, but it's new to the series. So, does this change pay off and make this an enjoyable gaming experience? I hope to mostly answer that question by the end of this video. First, let's go over the plot setup. In Ys 9, Adol and Dogi travel to the country of Gria and the city of Balduc, which is heavily occupied by the Romun Empire, an analog of the Roman Empire, which has played an antagonizing role throughout much of the series. Adol and Dogi figure that they can enter the city without any issues, since they haven't done anything wrong. But unfortunately, Adol's many adventures have made him famous, and the guards decide they can't just let him through without detaining and questioning him. Dogi is allowed entry to the city, but Adol is taken to Balduc Prison, an old, mysterious, labyrinthian structure which was originally built as a fortress. There he is held for days, and forced to answer many very series-aware and almost fourth-wall-breaking questions, like, "The ships you travel on seem to sink a lot. Don't you think that's a little suspicious?" Or, "They say you amass a lot of rare and expensive equipment on each of your adventures, and yet when you travel to a new country you always arrive empty-handed. Just who are you selling all your equipment to?"
Oh, wait a minute, what about this? What if they're eating in an airplane and they cross a time zone? I mean, it's always midnight somewhere.
For the sake of brevity, let's just say that Adol eventually manages to escape from his cell. While making his escape, he is confronted by a mysterious woman named Aprilis, who shoots him with a strange projectile, transforming him into a monstrum, a being with supernatural gifts, who is cursed to serve Aprilis as her slave. However, Aprilis lets him go on his way, and after this brief encounter, Adol manages to escape the prison, and is transformed back into his original form. He takes refuge in an abandoned bar, and dyes his hair black. This is enough to hide his identity since he is known as Adol the Red, and is usually identified by his bright red hair. He reunites with Dogi in the city, and the two of them make the bar their hideout, eventually reopening the bar as a front for their operations, and gradually filling the bar with allies, much like the island village in Ys 8. However, let's not forget that Adol is still cursed to serve Aprilis as her monstrum. She summons him to fight battles for her in the Grim World, a parallel world where it is always night, and monsters known as larvae roam. For what purpose Aprilis needs Monstrum to fight in the Grim World, no one knows. Adol transforms into a monstrum known as the Red King. Now might be a good time to mention that these names will almost definitely be different in the English version when it is released. The Red King has the gift of being able to, fly instantly to these shining grappling points when they are in view. And he is joined by 5 other monstrum, each with their own unique gifts. White Cat with the gift of running up vertical walls, Hawk with the gift of gliding, Doll with the gift of the third eye, which allows her to see items and switches through walls, Renegade with the gift of being able to move through the floor, and Raging Bull with the gift of a charge attack which can break walls. Hey, isn't Bull supposed to be a male? Whatever, that's what Falcom is calling her in English for now, so let's just go with that. Like Adol, these characters all have their own alter egos, each of which will be revealed in individual chapters of the game which center around each character. When Aprilis doesn't need the Monstrum in the Grim World, she allows them to roam about Balduc, but will not allow them to leave the city. She also walls off portions of the city so that they can't be explored until later in the game, a convenient way to gradually expand the area the player is able to explore. Of course, the Monstrum want to be freed from their curse, but Aprilis will only tell them that if they want to break the curse, then they must unlock the secrets of Balduc Prison. So here's how Ys 9 is played. In each chapter you will explore part of the city, finding new shops and locations. You can play as Adol or any of the other Monstrum who have currently joined your party. You automatically transform into your Monstrum form whenever you use your Monstrum gifts, all of which can actually be used by any character after the owner of the respective gift has joined your party. You'll explore rooftops and narrow alleys in order to find chests and collectibles, most of which are marked clearly on your map. You just have to figure out how to get to them. Ys 9 also has a battle encounter system. When you touch one of these red marks throughout the city, you will be transported briefly to the Grim World to fight a few larvae. After the battle, you will obtain some Nox. Obtain 100 Nox and you will unveil a portal to a new night in the Grim World. Aprilis will summon all of the Monstrum to fight in a battle where you need to defeat several waves of larvae while defending the Sven. These are very similar to the village defense battles in Ys 8. After you finish each night in the Grim World, a new area of the city opens up. You'll explore the new portion of the city and progress the story by heading to the exclamation point on the map contained within. As the story progresses in each chapter, you will visit a small dungeon or two beneath the city, as well as a large dungeon at the end of each chapter which connects to a different part of Balduc Prison. The only other thing to mention is the numerous optional subquests. Usually each chapter has a quest which involves visiting one of the previous dungeons to kill a monster, similar to in previous games, and another quest which involves breaking someone out of the prison. These are usually pretty interesting. The rest are various busy work similar to quests in other Falcom games, ranging anywhere from finding the owner of a stuffed animal to finding out who poisoned everybody in the bar. One other thing I should mention before I get into my opinions on the game is that all of this footage was taken on an original PS4, not a PS4 Pro. One thing I noticed is that the frame rate can be a bit choppy in some of the wide open areas like the city, and it becomes noticeably smoother when you enter a narrower space like a building. I imagine this aspect is probably alleviated somewhat if you play on a PS4 Pro, especially in 1080p. So what do I think of the game? Well, first of all, the new aspect of exploring a cityscape is an innovative addition. On top of that, many other aspects of the game are the same as Ys 8. The battle system is more or less the same, and lots of other aspects like uncovering the map and buying upgrades are carried directly over as well. It's just that you're exploring a city this time instead of an island. I'm sure that most fans of 8 are going to find a lot of what they loved about that game here, and a whole lot more to love as well. But... okay, here's where I might upset a few viewers, because again, I'm pretty sure that most fans are really going to love everything about this game, and I should emphasize that I'm a huge Ys fan and have been so since near the beginning, and overall I really like Ys 9 and have mostly positive things to say about it. My biggest issue with this game though would have to be with the pacing. Ys has always been an action RPG, with a large emphasis on exploring new combat areas and dungeons. This game features a lot of what, by Ys standards, I'm going to have to call downtime, where you are wandering around the city in order to complete tasks or find items. While this can be interesting, it deviates quite a bit from the core Ys gameplay, and for very long stretches of time too. The early parts of the game were especially hard for me, because even though the game wisely starts off with an action sequence where Adol escapes the dungeon, this is very short, and even after all of the very necessary story parts near the beginning, you are next thrown into the city exploration part of the game, where you'll need to wander around for quite a while. I found myself saying, this is all very interesting and all, but this doesn't feel very much like an Ys game. Where is the field? Where is the first dungeon? And when I finally found the first dungeon, it was nice, but it was still very short. It's not until the ending of Chapter 2 that you are finally treated to a somewhat satisfying dungeon, complete with rocking Ys music. Of course, this issue becomes much less of a problem the further you get into the game. The dungeons become much larger, and you get into the rhythm of exploring the city and completing subquests. By about Chapter 4 or 5, I finally felt like I had pretty much figured this game out. Up until then, there were lots of points where I really didn't quite get what this game is all about. I'm actually a little worried that some newcomers to the series might not be able to stick it out long enough to even begin enjoying the game. Longtime fans of the series I'm not that worried about, since I know they'll put in the time and be enjoying themselves by the end of the game. Another issue that inevitably comes along with the ability to run up walls and glide is wasting time with "can I get up here?" syndrome. Can I get up here? Nah, I guess not. Can I get up here? Nah, it's pretty obvious the game designers don't want me up there yet. Oh wait, I guess I can get up here. That's weird, I wonder if I'm even supposed to be up here yet. I also encountered a few bugs, both the kind where the game suddenly closes and the kind where you get stuck somewhere and can't get out. Luckily you can use fast travel to get out of the latter, and hopefully some of these can be addressed in future patches. As for the theme and atmosphere of the game, I really like the aspect of the mysterious prison. According to the guards, the subterranean levels are so vast that one could get lost in them, never again to see the light of day. That sounds great. I just want to take Adol down there and explore all of it. Unfortunately, the game hasn't let me really do that. Yet. And as for the plot, the game makes it obvious that some serious twists are in store for later. And I mean serious. I'm not even going to talk here about any of the hints the game has given me so far. So overall, I'm really enjoying Ys 9 so far, and it looks like it is only going to get better as it goes on. It may not be fair to make comparisons since I haven't played all of Ys 9 yet, and I also haven't played Ys 8 in a couple of years, but I have a bit of a soft spot for 8, I think. I liked the relative simplicity of the island setting, and the somewhat larger emphasis on action and dungeons. But who knows, maybe after I've finished 9 I will decide that I enjoyed it even more. Only time will tell. Hope you all get a chance to play it too so you can come to your own conclusions. Thanks for watching Basement Brothers, and be sure to subscribe and follow us on social media in order to make sure you don't miss any of our future videos. Bye bye for now.